Hey guys, today we're making a comment section video, and the comment of today is, what are these legacy squads? I'm new and never heard of them. Now, legacy squads are extremely nice privilege to have in your army. In today's video, we're gonna figure out what they are, where did they come from, and how to check if you have any of them. But before, let's roll the intro. Hey guys, I'm gonna start with some disclaimers before we jump into all of the shenanigans with legacy squads. For the purpose of example, I'm gonna be using my German army. It works exactly the same across every single other army. And again, for a purpose of example, I have sorted my squads for the assault squads just because I have a healthy mix of regular squads, legacy squads, premium, event, and some alternatives as well. But then again, this all goes and is exactly the same across every nation and again, every class of the soldiers in the game. So you can follow along with your account, with different nation, with different class as well. Just like event squads and premium squads have their differentiating symbol. For example, these are the event ones and everyone knows it. These are the premium ones as everyone knows it as well. The legacy and current squads in the game don't actually have any differentiating factor apart from this little rubbish bin, which when you click it, you can actually disband a legacy squad for mere 10,000 of silver, which I do not recommend by any stretch. Like, it is just not worth it. Keeping a squad is so much better than actually just getting rid of it, because it's like irreversible. You can't reverse this action. So please don't do it. If you've done it, I'm very sorry, but please do not do it. So that is like in the short. If you have any squads with these rubbish bins, means that you have some of the older legacy squads. I have purposely sorted out my squads by having the first three on the top are the ones that you can unlock. If you start playing Enlisted yesterday, then these are the three assault squads that you will be able to unlock. And the question now is, why veteran players have like 15 of these? If you are still unsure where these three assault squads come from, we can go to the research tree and I will gladly click through some of the squads. And this is the SMG line. We're gonna click through, and as you can see, clicking on the weapon usually brings up the weapon picture, but for some of them there's a squad as well. Now the first one here is not an assaultier, but we're gonna get back to this squad. If we click through some of these guns, eventually we're gonna click through, and we're gonna find a weapon that comes with a squad. Assaultier 2s. This is one of the squads I have sorted out for you today. If we keep clicking, we can keep clicking. This one gives you the guerrilla squad, which we're gonna again get back to it, but we are looking for all of the assault squads currently. MP40 ZK gives you the assaultier 3s, and if we keep clicking on and on and on and on, the MKB MP34 gives you the last assault tier 4 class soldiers. So those are the three squads that you can see here. These are the 2s, these are the 3s, and these are the 4s. Again, I have purposely sorted out the rest of my legacy squads, and the first 4 squads, if you can see now, are basic assaulters, or you can call them assaulter 1s. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. And I think I should probably have 5, but I've probably haven't grinded one back in the day. Now, back in the day, Enlisted didn't have a Tech 3 system with 4 nations on the top. Back in the day, Enlisted had a campaign system, and we had 6 campaigns. We had Moscow, we had Berlin, Stalingrad, Normandy, Tunisia, and the Pacific campaign. Those were the 6 campaigns we used to have. And each of these campaigns were like a separate world. Like, if you would choose to play Moscow as a German, you would only be fighting on Moscow maps, and you would only be fighting the Soviets. Same goes for, like, I don't know, Normandy. If you fight as a German in Normandy, you would only be fighting on Normandy maps, and you would only be versing the Americans and Commonwealth British. Now, therefore, one thing you unlock in one of the campaigns you had to unlock again in a different campaign. Therefore, you would have to, for example, it was like a meme already back then. Germans took part in 5 of the 6 campaigns back in the day, and each of those campaigns contained an MP40, and it was literally a meme. People said like, why do I need to unlock the MP40 5 different times, which was like one of the reasons why we got rid of the campaign system. Now there's a Tech 3. If you started playing Enlisted, you're welcome. You only need to unlock MP40 once, not like me. Back in the day we had to unlock it 5 times, which means unlocking it 5 times gave you an assault squad in each of the campaign. Now when we got rid of the campaigns, we only got rid of the campaigns, but the veteran players that unlocked these squads with those weapons were able to keep them. And this is where you should kind of picture it together, why I have so many of these squads. Looking at some of these logos and actually reading into them, you can kind of almost tell which campaign they come from. I'm gonna try and remember, but I'm not saying that I'll get it correctly. I think this one of the this was formed on June 1st, 1943. The clothing one, I think this is from Normandy campaign. Volkstrom Company, I am pretty sure these are the Berlin campaign, because it says the main goal was to defend Berlin from Soviets. So playing Berlin campaign back in the day, unlocking Assault Tier 1s would give you this squad. Then the next one, I think this one's definitely the Moscow, because it's talk about part of the whatever group rapidly moving in the direction of the Moscow. So yeah, basically these guys would be fighting in the Battle of Moscow. And I think the last one I have as Assault Tier 1s, you can just look at the clothing, you can clearly say North Africa, Tunisia. This is from the Tunisia campaign. I'm pretty sure I should have like at least another one, but I think I've missed out, of never really unlocked them. Same goes for higher class soldiers. For example, if we look at these ones here, I'm gonna have a couple of Assault Tier 2s, as you can see here, and even if we keep scrolling, I'm gonna have a couple of Assault Tier 3s from these legacy squads. Now, Assault Tier 3 used to be the top class for Assault Tiers. Only Stalingrad was the one that had Assault Tier 4s. Now, in the new world of Enlisted, Assault Tier 4s are nothing unusual. I think every nation has them, but none of the nations have the Assault Tier 1s anymore. And there's been a little switcheroony here. Now, Assault Tier 1s were replaced. This is where the Assault Tier 1s used to be. In the Tech 3, Assault Tier 1s were replaced by the Medic class. And when you think about it, Medic class is actually kind of like Assault Tiers, because they still can run around with SMGs. I think they can run around with SMGs, and can they have assault rifles? Can this guy have an SDG? Yeah, it's basically an assault squad, right? The only difference is you don't get the secondary slot because you're carrying the med box, and that is about it. And it's basically fully fledged out assault squad. That's why we no longer have Assault Tier 1s. Instead of that, we have the Medic squad. Therefore, these Assault Tier 1s actually are, oops, wrong button, are actually very kind of unique, because you can no longer get a class like that. So now we know what are legacy squads, we know where they came from. Sadly, you can understand that you can no longer get them. And the third one was how to tell if you have any, is basically if you have any squads with this rubbish bin, congratulations, you have a legacy squad. Now, again, I mentioned why it is extremely nice to have them. It is extremely nice to have so many squads in Enlisted across all of the different classes, because I take deep pride in my presets for different armies. And I think the best one for me is the Soviet one, because I've done it like super neatly. And if you go to the squad presets, you know we are fighting across 5 different tiers in Enlisted. And it is extremely nice to put together a preset for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And each of these presets consists of different squads already with the correct battle rating weapons. So I never have to go backwards and forwards of changing battle ratings, changing weapons from a soldier to a soldier. If I want to play a lower tier, if I want to play a higher tier, I just have so many squads. I can literally kit these out in 5 different presets, and with one click of a button, I click this, I want to play BR5, I click this, I want to play BR2, and it is flawlessly, and it is nice to have so many squads. Now, when it comes down to assault squads, keep your head up, because assault squads are actually super flexible squads, and there are so many different alternatives. And let's talk through these alternatives alternatives, because I have to admit it is rather weird playing over 5 different tiers in Enlisted and having only 3 squads per class. It some way doesn't make sense, because if you really want to make 5 presets without swapping around the weapons, it is actually not possible. Therefore, we need to look over to some of the alternatives, some squads that are extremely like assaultiers, and you will see there's actually plenty of, you know, options to choose from. One of them being playing events. As you can see, there are at least 2 event assaultiers I have here, and there's a third one I have left in this lineup, which is actually an engineer battalion. However, this is a unique engineer battalion because these guys are engineer assaultiers. They're available for Germans and Soviets. Basically a fully fledged out assault squad that is basically an engineers, or like a fully fledged out engineer squad that can carry assault weapons and SMGs as well, which is nice to have. Obviously those events are long gone and it's not like you can jump in and start playing them. If you want to try and get them, this is probably the best place to get them right now. There's no other better way of getting those old event squads, but as far as I've seen in the comments and in the Discord, actually a lot of people have managed to get quite a few of those nice squads. That's obviously not a reliable alternative. A very reliable alternative is just to go ahead and buy a premium one. You can see a premium assaultier, you can add it to your collection, you can instantly make another preset for different battle rating, for example. If you don't want to spend money, there are few more options how you can improvise and imagine you have more assault squads. We have a medic class, which we already kind of touched on a little bit, and the medic class was the squad that was swapped in the place for assault tier 1s, and as we already found out, they can literally carry any SMG, and if I'm not mistaken, even assault STGs. Yeah, so medic squad is basically an assault squad without a secondary slot because you're carrying the med box. So that's another one you can get from the Tech 3, easy peasy. That adds to these 3, so you can kind of have 4 assault squads. The newest addition to the game is the guerrilla squads, which are as well in the SMG line. We kind of touched on them as well. The only difference from the guerrilla squads is that they cannot carry weapons that are classified as assault rifles, but you can still carry an SMGs, which there are plenty of SMGs that are super fast and super good and whatnot. So yeah, the only problem, like for these ones, you would not get the MPs, I believe, and the STGs and whatnot. All of those is a no-go, but most of the SMGs you will be able, so this is kind of there or thereabout an assault squad. And the last but not least, which I haven't personally myself done, but I know people talking about it, I've heard it on the comment section, live chat, Discord and whatnot, what people have figured, there's a one class that I completely ignore in Enlisted, and you will see, like I literally never ever play. Let's select snipers. I've got freaking 12 sniper squads. Oh my god, so many legacy. I didn't even know. And you can see the levels of them. Some of them are like, there's 126, 26, 31. There are so many squads that are level 1, level 1, level 1, 1, 1, 1. I just do not play sniper squads, and probably one day I should start upgrading them all, because at least for the top tier, what you can do, where you start getting the assault automatic sniper rifles, which are the MKBs and SDGs, and probably from some other nations similarly, you can fully fledge out your sniper squad. Give them the sniper automatic sniper rifle, take off the sniper scope, and you basically have an assaultier with an SDG in its hand. So that is another way you can substitute a different squad for an assault squad. So I think I would probably do something like that, because I'm not a fan of playing snipers, and I think that's something I would do for my like free-to-play account. Sadly, those auto sniper rifles are only for the top tier, so you can only do it when you get to the top tier, but that is somewhere down the road at least an option. So there's a lot I said in this video. What are the legacy squads, where do they come from, how to differentiate if you have them, the fact that you can't have them anymore, and what are the alternative ways of kind of substituting out if you want to make more presets for your army. Again, most of these things will cover for every single nation and every single class, but what was very specific on this one, just how to replicate an assault squad. Every other squads just carry bolties, semi-autos and things like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was not as confusing as it feels now. It was to myself, but that's where I'm gonna leave you. I think the new year is about to come around here. I don't know how many more videos I'm gonna make this year, but if I don't, then I guess Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2025. Goodbye.